Welcome in, everyone, to the Challenge After Show. Today, Jenna's back, Pam's here, I'm here, and we're talking the Challenge USA Episode 10, Pledges of Allegiance.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, where do
They're
you
still
leave?
working
Where do you
it.
align?
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly. So I wanted to keep...
I align with Enzo always, even if sometimes he sucks at challenges. You know that's always where I'm gonna align. And as much as Angela and Tyson and all of these other guys are obviously the top tier competitors, I was rooting for both Enzo and David, which doesn't make sense because they were in the elimination together. But throughout the episode, I was like, come on, dogs, come on, these underdogs, these fun loving, spirited people instead of the top tier mean athletes. I get it's all a competition and a game show, but I wanted our little underdogs to thrive.
Jenna, I was going to ask you today, I was going to say, Jenna, they all hating on your boy this week. Every single person said, I don't want to run a final with this guy. And they said a lot of things I would say. He can't win. He can't swim. Bam. But then again, he wins elimination. So what are you going to do?
But he can steam his tank tops for his confessional interviews.
I saw that.
I saw that too and was so interested in
It's like, guys, where's Enzo? Oh, he's in the steaming room.
steaming his tank top. It's like basketball.
And he can be probably 40 years old and dressed like he's 14. So all of those things are fine with me. So he's great in my book.
So last week on this show, Pamela and I somehow went on a tangent about Big Brother, even though we're talking about the challenge. And at the end of that rant, Pam mentioned one of Alyssa's friends who doesn't even exist on the show. They talked about it in a live feed. Her name is Becky or something like that. And we asked anybody to hashtag Becky. And if they did, we'd give them a shout out on the show. 5 people actually hashtag Becky.
Woo!
And the first one is Philip, who's always around. Philip's always commenting.
Hi, Philip.
Whitney Collins, Austin Ashley, Tavia White, who also wrote hashtag Where's Jenna. So there you go, Tavia. She's right there. She's right there. Okay. And then we've agreed that the pronunciation is what for this last one? Sione Brown. Sione.
Tell us if we're wrong, but shout out. And thank you guys for hashtagging Becky, Alyssa's friend that was at the concert. I was like, Becky was so drunk that night.
Right. Well, let's get into this after show for the challenge. And ladies, it starts off like it always does. It's got Ben sitting there like, man, I'm best friends with Enzo, but I'm on this other allegiance. It sure would suck if something bad happened to Enzo. Mm-hmm. And then something bad happens to Enzo, and we already know the plot line. I even wrote right at the beginning, I wrote Enzo ? Elimination, and it happened. So it's happening every week.
Enzo's the Anissa of the challenge CBS. Like, he sucks at the dailies. Not that Anissa sucks at them, but he's good at the
eliminations.
So he makes it far, even though no one wants to be in a final with him.
And the whole being on TV and being entertaining sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, like, Enzo, he just starts. He's like, I want to flip it up. You know, you gotta love Enzo. Like, I don't love him the way Jenna loves him, but I do like him. He is funny. But I mean, Queen Angela is right. She's like, I don't want to be partnered with him if he can't swim.
Yeah.
So, and can you imagine how shitty that would be?
Absolutely. And Angela deserves nothing but to continue to thrive and succeed in this game. Everything they said was justified and valid. Like, I have no argument against it. Enzo is obviously not on the competitive level that they are. I just think, it's just fun to kind of root for the dogs for a bit. But in the seriousness of the game, she is 100% right. And I would not fault her or blame her for saying, yeah, I don't want to be partnered up with somebody next week after I have crushed this game and killed the competition just to have to be with a partner who's going to anchor me. Yeah. So she's totally
right. And that's the point of that alliance. I got to say, and I know we'll get more into Angela, but I really like the way she plays the game.
Yeah.
Not just because she's obviously amazing and better than any guy and any girl there, but she's honest too. I mean, she was like, can I go talk to Enzo? When they decided, spoiler alert, they nominate Enzo. But she wants to talk to everyone. She's upfront. I'm really get more and more impressed with her every week.
So I find myself rooting for these players differently than I would on the regular challenge, because I know that the top 2 players get to represent the US.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I really don't, I don't know who I don't like. I'm like, I know I like Alyssa the best, right? I like she's my favorite. I'm rooting for her. But honestly, I'd rather Angela and Tyson represent the US in this next round. So like when the regular challenge is on, I'm like, well, who cares? I know who I want to win. They're my fan favorite, whatever. And then if they make another season, so what? But now it's like they got to take it to a whole new level and represent the US. So in a weird way, Angela's not my favorite, but I'm rooting for her and Tyson to win just because I think that they competitively will work the best as a team come that next level. And so it's throwing me off when I watch it because I'm not like rooting how I would regularly root for people.
Agreed. Right. Agreed. I've mentioned like probably almost every episode that I'm surprised how much Team Angela I am, because usually I hate the like just dominant winner. But in this instance, A, she deserves it, and B, yeah, I want the best to go represent USA.
So. Yeah, because I mean, so really, what we're down to now is after next week, we're going to be down to 10 players, and that looks like the 10 will then go on to the final. We're only looking at 12 episodes of this show. It's actually like basically what the old challenge used to be, 10 to 15 episodes, and you're done, not the 24 that they pump out on MTV at an hour and a half tilt as well. Mm-hmm. This is an hour episode a week. You're getting 12 episodes, possibly a reunion, which would make it 13, but that's it. We're done after this. So like what guys and girls, I guess, are you hoping that would represent the US? Because guy-wise, you got Ben, I'm like, Enzo, David's gone. Dom, I'm down to Tyson and Danny as far as the guys that I want in there. The other ones I don't think would represent as well for the US personally, but
I agree with you, but I would also add in Ben. I would love to see Ben represent the US. I think that he's great. I think that he was actually on a similar wavelength as Angela in terms of strategizing for the bus daily competition. His mind was there. He just didn't execute it as well as she did. It was a matter of Angela doing something for everybody to realize how genius it was. Like she was the only one that thought of it. I can't even say anything. Like I'm sitting on the couch, I'm not thinking of it. Clearly no other competitor in the game thought of it. If you go first, it's hard to strategize in that way. However, it was just brilliant. It was so brilliantly thought out and well done in terms of strategy. But you know, Ben also was kind of on that similar page. So I think I'd be happy for him to move on and represent US too. Dom, I just don't know if he would. He's made it far in this game, but would he really be able to compete with people internationally? I mean,
he told the world tonight he was out of shape. When he gets on, he goes, I'm out of shape and I'm going to win. I'm like, what? Get in shape, damn it.
Yeah. That's why he has another job that's not being a fitness model or trainer. Like so many people on this show, their job is also, it coincides with being on reality TV game shows, but he's like a production manager and stuff. Like he has a life and family and kids and way more other stuff that's happening that I don't think it would be the priority for him to train and get in shape for a show. And I don't blame him for that, but he probably shouldn't then move on to the next level of the CBS challenge world.
And still the girls are all more comfortable with him than they are with Enzo or Dave. So it makes me wonder how, I mean, is he just being self-deprecating or is he really that out of shape? Because again, they'd prefer him. I do think that they're playing now selfishly, at least Angela. I don't think it's like about being nice and friends and, oh, but we like Dom. It's like, no, I would rather anyone but Enzo. So, or David next. I think they would have put Dom in if it came down to that, ultimately. But I think they had some other people that they were less desirous of running a final with. And I hate to say it, but I think David's like the worst. So I didn't mind seeing him go. And I also
talk about out of shape. I mean, he looked real out of shape in that elimination. Both of them. It was
I would say more so both of them. And actually, after the first match, I thought that David looked fine. I was like, Enzo's already done. Like, he's already gassed out. And then he still comes back and win. It's just weird because they both look at one point, they're just walking towards each other and just kind of like hitting each other and just hoping it would be over.
I know it was like,
They wanted to get bailed out. They're like, just you finish it. No, you finish it. I'm too tired. You finish it. Like, you win this time. Yeah. I'm just going to chuck a 3-pointer and hope it goes in. They were both done. I mean, I don't know if either, honestly, that was like an elimination where like, do either of them deserve to win this thing? They both look like they don't even want to, like, they're not even like trying.
Right.
It was in slow motion, ladies.
Yeah. And something again that happens with David, it was similar to what happens on the flagship MTV version is like, David, you do lose and you do come in last. And, you know, I'm obviously joking now, sounding hypocritical from earlier when I'm like, I root for that underdogs, but it's like, no, I understand who David is and he loses and he comes in last. Therefore, he cannot pick. He doesn't have that power to pick.
Right.
And that's Angela's very valid point where, you know, you're making a comment, she plays a selfish game, but I think that you should play selfishly at this point. You want to make it to the finish line and yeah, she has the power. And David, you can't kind of bitch and whine and complain that you're going against
win and pick who you want to go
you
in.
have no, like, what water do you have in this argument? You have nothing to stand on. You continuously come in last or not compete. So this is the situation you're in.
Well, and that's what to piggyback on what you said, Jenna. I always try to root for the underdogs, but I only want to root for an underdog that I think is trying their hardest and still getting destroyed by the house. Like, those are the underdogs I want. Like, you know, you ladies didn't really like him, but I thought Leo was a true underdog this season with some of the stuff he was coming back from. Yeah. Even though others didn't like him just because of his personality, but I thought that he tried his hardest. And I thought they had a couple really quick-witted ideas in eliminations to win it. So
sure. I agree. Usually an underdog's good. And when I say selfishly, this is back to Angela. I don't mean that in a negative way, obviously.
Right, yeah.
I mean, at this point, playing to win is a better way than saying selfishly. But during the discussion that we were just referencing where David got mad. Now, I know that in the beginning, the house was sort of split, like Love Island, Survivor, Big Brother. As far as I understand, the way David was acting, it's as though the Big Brother people, Angela, Alyssa, him, and Enzo, were in an alliance. And it's like, well, you're not. He's like, I was looking out for you guys. I've been looking out for you guys, to Angela. And it's like, you haven't been looking out for me. I've been winning everything. I've been looking out for you thus far by not putting you in, basically. And now it's like, sorry, it's time to trim the fat. Like, you have to go.
But this comes back to my comment of everyone was like, oh, all the different TV shows are going to work together as one. It's like, look, if I was on Big Brother 23 and you were on Big Brother 24, I didn't even know who you were. I just saw you on TV. So I get that there is some bias with like, yeah, we want to work together. But at this point in the game, David, dude, people have made other alliances with stronger people. And sorry, dude, you're not cutting the mustard, bro. So you're going home. It just is what it is. That's why I was like so confused. Like, it's not going to stay aligned. Survivor might be the only one that did kind of stay aligned. This
well, the guys did, and then the girls.
Desi's like Survivor, and she's kind of back on that side in a way.
Which go Desi. That's a really good move for her.
Was Sarah's Survivor, and she's kind of fallen.
What is she?
Is she Survivor?
She was Survivor with Tyson and Ben.
Yeah, but I know she's a cop. I think she's a cop. Jenna, is she a cop? Is Sarah the cop?
The cop. I can't say for sure.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask. Tell us in the comment section if Sarah's a cop.
Was Sarah a cop? She a cop?
I don't know. She could be a detective. Is it Nicole from Big Brother? What's the chick that was on Big Brother? That was a detective.
Oh my God, Nicole, detective for 2 out of the 10
years.
2 out of the 10 years.
I gotta tell you guys something.
Yeah.
Close the doors, shut the blinds, top secret, bombshell of the century.
I was also a detective.
Yeah. Detective. So you know what? Oh, sorry. We don't have to rehash that, but boy, was that amazing. I will say the sweetest victory, though, because we always have to throw in a little Big Brother for our girl Taylor, is someone I was reading at Twitter and someone was like, Nicole, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who the fuck's Nicole? Like, I completely forgot about
that. Happens, though. That's like, who was Paloma? Who was like,
so not even, I literally was like, who the hell is she? And then I was like, oh, right.
What was that girl with the A name? Amira? Remember Amira?
Amira was gonna win, but she was too good. They cut her quick.
Well, she also said, this is too easy. Big Brother's too easy.
I mean, she did get blind.
And she got eliminated.
She was the only one who was, I think, as good. Like, she almost beat Michael in that first veto. Like, she was.
She could be the Michael that's left. All right, so let's get into code crossing, which is the challenge that we saw tonight. I know you brought it up, Jenna, but I got to say it. I did in my head right away come up with the concept. I said, if you have 6 pegs, you need to use them all for your feet. That way you don't have to do an up-down motion. You can just shimmy along with your hands. That looks really kind of grotesque what I just did there. And you have your feet. Yeah, well, now Pamela's doing it.
Oh,
But so I said the same thing, and I was surprised that people didn't come up with that idea sooner. Like, what did they think they were going to do? The other thing I thought was, well, I guess if you think you're a macho man, you can just literally just have nothing on your legs and just hang there and just move your arms all the way across, like swing like a monkey swing or something. Yeah. Like Tarzan the shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can all only speak personally. So Dan, that is awesome.
I promise I'm not just saying it to be cool right now. That was my first thought. You gotta make a bridge for your feet. That's what I thought.
I trust you. I'm sure that you thought of it because again, it's one of those things that you see after the fact and you're just like, oh my God, duh. Like smacking your head. But to be honest, I know I never would have thought about it in the heat of the moment. There's no shot. I don't know. You see everybody going turn after turn, kind of doing the same sort of thing. You're just maybe going to follow suit. Angela absorbed all of it and was the one person who finally realized, like, no, let me go against the grain and do the obviously correct thing here. And I will say for Desi not having the same exact as sharpened strategy, she also kicked ass and she almost finished. So she did a wonderful job too. Danny was pretty close. So there was a lot of people who still did a good job, even though they didn't have the strategy. But it all is just like Angela with ease, the only person to finish it and then also be able to sit on top of the truck.
I would do that again.
And take it all in, but she's a climber. So she probably has that already, that mindset.
You know who's going down my like totem pole of like strength or like I think is a good competitor is Kayla. She like triple weeks in a row now. She can't even do shit. She just like doesn't even complete the simplest part. Like she couldn't even get on the damn tractor trailer today. She's been performing very poorly. I'm very disappointed in her.
Yeah, I think Kayla went in, we had higher expectations for her being an amazing racer, but I feel like she is just like us averages where we don't wake up every day and know how to get across a moving bus with pigs, you know, like we would go into this so blindly. We don't have the years of the CTs and the Johnny Bananas, how they've built up all of these strategies and their just physical ability to whip out this stuff. I feel like Kayla is just like all of us if we just walked into doing the challenge.
Right, like
looking at this like, oh, so okay, probably not really my cup of tea today.
I really do feel bad for Tyson because if again, who knows how it was edited, but the way they showed him going first, and he mentioned that, so I guess they really did go first. That really was a huge disadvantage because at that point, when you're saying, oh, I just figured, Dan figured it out, Jenna was thinking like everyone else, I was like, what the fuck's happening? It took me watching it a few times to like understand what was happening and what the goal was.
But this is Tyson though. Come on, Tyson's thinking 300 ways on how to properly do this thing. He's not just going into it on a couch, just sitting there, just enjoying the show with popcorn.
But what he said though made sense to me. I do understand the logic of like set yourself up in the beginning so you can move, which wasn't the right strategy, but I got that logic. And of course you would learn by watching. So it's a bummer because he was at a huge disadvantage.
My concept with that was why set yourself up at the beginning? If you're allowed to carry like 20 of these poles with you, you can just put those in from the platform. You don't even have to get off the platform. You can just shove them in for your footholds to get up that first part and then have the rest lined up all the way down in a straight line. And then you still have some in your bucket, and then you just hand job the damn thing all the way up.
Yeah. I mean, I get the sense that Tyson is such a hardcore competitor that he does not like to lose or fail. And he's so respectably good. And again, head and shoulders above the rest. However, as we've pointed out on the show, he definitely is imperfect like anybody. Like he has weaknesses. And again, in his confessional, he was just starting to annoy me again when he's talking about not succeeding at this bus game, because it's like, could you just ever have a shred of humility? Like you also have to realize that, again, like we've said, if you go on a hall brawl with Danny, you're probably getting flatlined, like you're probably getting steamrolled. So the fact that you always just talk about yourself in the way that is just, you're the best, you're better than every single human being on the show, is really just kind of, it's discouraging to watch, and it's kind of annoying. And it's like, I don't know, man, have a little bit of humbleness once.
I think he is, though, I think he is just really being sarcastic, and he's just so dry that it doesn't come off. So the same, like, I won $1 million on a stupid TV show. I always harken back to that when I'm like, okay, he's not a complete asshole. That's just his delivery is dry and kind of obnoxious. But I just was thinking, I'd almost prefer what you just said, that Danny would like run him down.
Run it into him.
I think I would prefer Danny and Angela as the team, because you only really need one strategist. You don't need two strategists in the team. And you need some brute strength. If you've got one brains and everything, and then someone that will take direction, be coachable, that will take the strategy that you can offer and also can like run people down. Like, I might prefer Danny and Angela for the USA team.
I think either would be a great combo for the next level that they have to go to.
But I do increase in smallness, though. At the end of the day, if his strategy gets him through.
Well, it depends where all these European dudes, are they going to be jacked up? They're going to be scrawny European dudes. Who the hell knows? Maybe they'll be all the same size. Just saying.
Like, I don't know. What if was there?
Did we really think Emmanuel was very like the most muscular dude ever? They brought him on the show. He was like a regular looking dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yes, I think strength is important, but I would prefer someone that has really great endurance and a strategy in their head than someone that's like Gabo. I don't need a Gabo running around the house like, hey, Gabo, see you later, bro. I don't care.
That's not Danny, but Danny's not Gabo.
No. I think Danny's much more than that. But I was telling Pam last week, we haven't seen Danny really complete any puzzles this season, like on his own, having to have that pressure on him like that.
Okay, I guess that wasn't really.
I mean, I don't think. I'm sure in the comment section someone will call me out. So go ahead. Tell me what Danny's done.
It's like a Fessy. Sometimes that brute strength comes in handy, like Hulk smash. Sometimes
if you get 3 hall brawls in a row, like Fessy got one year.
But if it's any kind of knock 'em down competition, like any kind of rugby-esque thing, you want. I don't know. It's just never bad to have if you can also do something else like CT.
You're right. Sometimes you need that person to go choo choo, but we haven't seen those sort of games on this show. There hasn't been anything that is required just being bigger than the.
Well, that's also because I think they realize it's not good optics for national TV to see 2 people bashing their heads in, and these people are in their 40s and 50s on the regional challenge. They're all in their 20s, and they can take hits more, and it doesn't look awkward. You almost why is my grandfather out there about to destroy himself? No one wants to see grandpa gets hurt. They don't want to see that.
Like Enzo and David. It was like, all right, guys.
It was literally slow motion. It was slow motion to me. Yeah.
I want to know how long those producers and editors went searching the music library for that music, because the music was so dramatically over the top. I was like, oh my God, this dramatic gladiator music in the background is really trying to elevate this rinky dink backyard wrestling game between your 2 grandparents.
That is so funny. I don't remember the music at all, but now I'm gonna have to read it.
I was like, whoa, I feel like this music is really making it something it's not, but that's what you have to do.
Just like Desi last week, who had an opportunity to put someone big in like Angela, Ben had an opportunity tonight to take out anybody he wanted to, and both decided to just go with the other person, or in this case, the alliance. Last week, I defended Desi's move. This week, I don't know why, but I kind of wanted Ben to make the move. I want him to throw in a Tyson. Not that, and I still want Tyson to win, by the way. I just wanted a little more drama. I didn't want the obvious choice of just, throw David down there. He's the weakest with Enzo, whatever, who gives a shit, done. So tell me your thoughts, ladies, on those decisions.
You know how I feel about alliances and turning on them too quickly before it's time. It's like,
it's the next week's the last week. This is his last chance.
That's what I don't understand. How many people are going to the final?
I said 10. They have 11. There's 12 going into this episode. We just lost David. Now we have 11. We have 1 more girls, and then we have a final. The season's over. That's it.
Maybe they'll do a two for one. I feel like the final should only be 3 people. 5 people?
It's going to be 10. It's going to be 5 and 5.
Right, but I mean 5 guys, 5 girls, that's too many.
So it's going to be. I bet. Okay. But you know what, Pamela, guaranteed halfway through that final, they eliminate 2. You know, a guy and a girl, then they're down to 4 and 4. Then they might eliminate again. Then they only finish with 3 and 3, something like that.
So at this point, you're saying he would have made it to the final anyway if there's not a guys thing. I say at that point, making yourself public for one is good, but you're saying it doesn't matter. So
I'm saying take out a bigger competitor when you know there's no way. The repercussions next week. What? He's not a girl. He can't go in next week. He's fine. Ben should have hammered down, and Desi, in theory, still has another week to survive next week. So by her not putting in a stronger person last week, she wanted to save herself one more week. Ben had no worries.
I agree, theoretically. However, we don't know what TJ's final may bring, and say it's like, all right, well, you get a penalty, and he's getting penalty after penalty. Making everyone strong turn on you, I don't think is ever a great move.
But if they team them up in partners, then they have no choice but to work with that person, even if they're mad at them. We don't
know. That's what they're assuming. It could be an individual final. It could be you give penalties. It could be partners that rotate. It could be guy partner sometime, girl. We don't know.
Pamela, mark my words. It'll be partners to start, and they'll finish singles. It's set up way too obviously that way. For me, that's what I think it's going to be. But Jenna, what were you going to say?
You get penalties and stuff too, so. I really don't think it's that dumb. It's like no one that's going to be doing this with you wants Enzo to be in it. I know you're friends, but come on.
Yeah, no, I think that for Ben's personal game, he should have fought to get Tyson in. But I just don't know if he was going to be able to do that because of how strong Angela was in her stance. I mean, it's kind of, isn't it at the point of the game where even though he's in that kind of group alliance, there's a point of the game where unless you've like your number one or your top 3 people you're working with, you can't really be in this big group. Like alliances do end eventually, and every game does have to become selfish because there's only one winner at the end. So I do think for Ben's game, it would have been wise for him to fight to get Tyson out, but how was he going to get Angela to budge on that? I don't know.
Well, we also don't know though, Jenna, what the hell happens if Angela wants one person and Ben wants another person and there's a tie. We don't know how TJ decides to break that tie. So, and I've been wanting to see that as well throughout the entire season at this point. So
I also think you just look like a real asshole at that point. He's already turned his back on Sarah, who again was his number one coming into it for the betterment of his game, which I get because they're not, necessarily a team. Not turned his back, but apparently they were number ones when they came in. And then number 2, you have been playing with these people. You've been loyal. At this point, as we're saying, it sort of doesn't matter. So to make that, call and just get rid of someone that you've been allied with, you just kind of look like a jerk at this point.
Well, yeah, but when Tyson wins that damn final, Ben's going to be like, oh, I probably should have got rid of him when I had a chance. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to suck. So get rid. I mean, that's my thought on it. Like, what if Tyson goes and wins? You had an opportunity to at least try to get him out. Now, I do think that Tyson would have beat Enzo because I don't think Tyson would have got gassed out like Enzo would have. Because it would have been.
I agree.
Oh, no, sorry. It would have been David.
It was always David. And yes.
So I think Tyson beats either of those dudes. So I do think Tyson still comes back, but you never know in elimination. There's always a chance. What if Tyson breaks a freaking arm or a wrist? Like, because he's a scrawnier guy. He's going to be doing battle against David. He was a much more compact man. He can probably blow a big punch.
Yeah, but Tyson would like run around the ring.
Pack a punch. That's what I'm looking for.
Like run around the ring and make David chase him until he fell or something. Like
there's so many strategies to this game. So the game for the balls in, is it called? Yeah, balls in for the arena.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Like it's a great game. I've always liked this one. This one, like I've been saying it all night. It kind of was a mediocre version, but that's just because the contestants, they had it set up the right way.
Yeah.
They tried, the producers tried to give us everything they could to get a good arena going. It's just when you get 2 people, like I am seriously shocked at how gassed Enzo was after just the first round. And then I'm doubly as shocked that he went on to win the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe that shit.
So Enzo had some really funny funny things. First of all, so they do the nomination. Ultimately, Ben, Angela's like, no way, we're putting Tyson in. When Ben said that to Angela, he's like, well, I don't know. I have to think about it. I was like, Ben, don't be an idiot. I know you're saying you think Ben.
Right. No, go on. That's we have different topics. Okay.
It's like, what are you gonna do? This is the like thing you're gonna fight about. It's just so, I don't know. It was like, it just seemed like too little too late at that point. It's like, you're not going to take Tyson out right now when there's 2 weeks. It just seemed a little silly to me. Then the next day he's like, I'm sorry, cool, we're doing it. And then I like that he just throws Angela under the bus. He's like, Angela made me, to Enzo. He goes to tell Enzo.
Yeah, see, that's, I don't know, because I think that Ben could have just as many alliances on the other side of the house. If him and Enzo and him and David are such good buddies, well, why not team up with them and then have
They're not good and they don't win competition, so there's no point in being in alliance with them. Because
Jenna just said that Ben's like her number 2 guy, that she likes Ben a lot. So
Sarah?
Jenna said that Ben's one of her favorites.
Ben is good, but why would Ben, who's good, throw his stock in with guys that suck when he's got guys that win?
Because what does Ben think he has a better chance at beating Enzo and David or Tyson, Danny, and Dom?
Right.
Get rid of one of those dudes, the top dogs. Even though I don't think
you're not going to get rid of them. That's the point. They're not going to. Enzo is not going to take out.
You can't put Danny down there. He would have dominated anyone. The guy's a freaking football player. You give him a ball, I think he knows how to freaking score a basket.
But they don't know what it is. They don't know what it is.
When they did when they got there. They saw that it was a game. They saw the game, Pamela. There. They saw it's a ball and you got to put it in the bag. It's very obvious. And if you're a fan of the challenge, which you should have done your damn homework on, like we always talk about, Pamela, they should have known that was exactly what that game was.
Yeah. And Angela did her damn homework and said, I don't want to fucking swim with Enzo in the final. So
and totally understanding. I totally get it.
Who's gassed out. So yes, Ben could have made a big fuss at this point, I guess. But at this point, I think the point of the strong alliance that they have is when it's a guy's thing, we pick because that's who we're partnered with. And when it's a girl thing, you get to pick because that's who you're going to be partnered with.
Here's why I think Ben dug himself a hole no matter what. If he was in this alliance, he should have said, no problem. I'm putting Ben is fine. Ben, oh, sorry, Jenna. So we're talking, I said, no, this is why I think Ben screwed himself either way by going with the alliance. If he was really with this new alliance, which is Tyson and all those people, he should have been right away with Angela. Oh yeah, no problem. I agree with you 100%. By having all of that, like, not sureness, he's still at the bottom of the totem pole in that alliance now. So either go all in with that alliance. But you said that it does in the final.
It matters for the girls.
But if he's working with the girls are going to be like, okay, I'll work well with Ben, but I'd rather see Tyson win, so I'm going to help him more with certain things. Who knows what they could throw at each other? My point is either go all in with that alliance with Tyson or go all in with your new alliance, which is Benzo, whatever the hell their nickname is, and the other guy, David. Be buddies with them. Don't half and half, because now you pissed off both sides.
I don't agree with that, just because I think that was probably a pretty minor blip in the thing that was turned into whatever for drama.
Okay, that's fair too. Yeah. But they did show people talking like, what's he thinking about? I thought we had a team here.
It is stupid. I think it was a dumb move. But I agree that he's like, I like Enzo. He's the only one that makes me laugh. And I want to talk about Enzo being so pissed at Tyson. Like, it wasn't Tyson's fault that he's like, fucking bird face. Like, he's sitting there so pissed and he's calling him a bird face. What else?
That's because he has such close ties to Angela, though. That's why he's that upset.
Right. But it's like it's not Tyson's fault you're going in. I mean, I guess, right, Angela.
He called him Jesus at one point. So I guess
he's like Jesus-looking guy.
He walks on water, unlike Enzo, who can't even swim to save his life.
I think then my interpretation at that point is just, it's the person who has led the house this whole time. It's the person who has been in control of kind of the politics and winning every week. So it's like blaming the president or something, or the leader of the company, the CEO. You're just going to go for like the top, the head honcho when you're in a situation like that.
I liked Enzo's insults, though. It was funny.
But, I thought it was funny.
Insults were funny because we don't see enough, fighting on this show, because they don't like know each other or care enough to fight with each other about things. So that was kind of a fun comic relief.
Exactly.
Enzo, you gotta love Enzo. I do think he's very amusing.
Jenna, do you have any thoughts on the arena tonight? Pamela and I already gave our 2 thoughts, but if you want to jump in and tell us anything we missed, because we'd heard some of the early stuff too about it being grandpas in slow motion. I believe at one point they had one of those little what I saw Enzo walking with a
walking stick.
A walking thing, a walker.
My thought was going into it was that Enzo's height was going to be an advantage, and that I felt like maybe Enzo was going to have more endurance, although David works out a lot. So I kind of had higher hopes, and I understand that that was an exhausting elimination because even those short spurts are really tiring, but I just felt like neither of them showed like the it's go time sort of like, for example, there was at one point where Enzo had to do like kind of the least, and it's just 45 seconds, dude. Just go balls to the wall for 45 seconds. Like, you're up 1-0, sprint, charge at him, make one move, go for it. And he's just deflated. Like, it kind of felt like a who wants it moment that neither of them had. And I get it, you're exhausted. But if you're in this game, you gotta have that it's go time.
Right. Like, where's your energy that's on the back burner? Why didn't either of you have it? Like I said earlier, I felt like neither of them deserved to win this damn thing. Call it a draw, send both their asses home, but they need even guys and girls for the finals. They can't do that.
And even wouldn't just adrenaline kick in at that point when you're like spent? I get it. It's like, oh my God, I'm 2 feet away from like almost winning and proving everyone wrong. And it's like, nope. Have it.
I honestly do feel like both of them gave up, but it was easier for Enzo to not totally give up, because when he flung the ball away at the end, David was so far out of it that it was pretty, I mean,
but we're playing for a ton of money. I can't imagine just having that. I don't care how gassed I am. The game wasn't even like out of reach for either one. It was tied up 1-1. Why is someone not making a bigger move? I could not figure it out the whole time I'm watching. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are going to go far anyways. So, or at least Enzo now.
And again, though, the challenge finale more looks like the dailies challenges than the final. So where I appreciate Enzo getting fired up, at least in shit talking before this competition, it's like, where is any of this energy though for the challenges? Because you suck. So again, it's like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm coming back. I'm going to prove something. And it's like, perform a little bit during any of the challenges. Because he always loses. Like, one of those two, I feel like always they trade like losing every week.
Yeah.
So, I can't say that I feel that bad about David going home, nor would I have felt terrible about Enzo going home.
100%. 100%. So ladies, are we all in agreement that next episode will be the final girls one? I feel like they're also combining the final girls elimination with the finale next week. I don't know why maybe the finale will be 12. So maybe it'll just be.
I kind of feel like there's still too many people. Like, I kind of want to see Tyson have to go into an elimination. I kind of want to see.
But you don't think there's just 2 more episodes left? Because the way I thought they said it was, we got 1 more girl elimination, and then we go straight into the final. I swear they said that on like the next on the challenge at the end. So I'm like, next episode would be 11, the final would be 12, reunion 13 if they even do one, and then that's it. 13 episodes, you're done.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that is what's happening, but it just feels like, I don't know, I kind of want some of these guys to duke it out a little bit more before they just go to the final. Like, it feels like sorry, excuse me. Sick. More people are going to the finals. Like, I don't know. There's so many people in the finals. It just feels like, okay, so now is the final fight, but the finals have been so poorly done on the MTV show the last few seasons. And I think it's because there's so many damn people in them that it's like they have to do eliminations in the final.
And that's what they're going to do, Jenna. That's what they're going to do again.
Let them fight for like a true top 2, top 3 spot, not top 7. Like, I don't know.
Maybe next week will be a girl and a guy elimination, and it'll be 4 that go to the final. I could see that happening. Because
they'd have to have 2. They'd have to have 2 girl eliminations and 1 guy elimination next week alone in a 1-hour episode. It's not going to happen. Too much to cover.
1 girl,
That gets it down to 10.
Okay, you're right.
Then you have to have another guy and another girl elimination. Not happening.
Unless they did a purge of some sort and just took out 2 guys and 2 girls tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it lowers the quality of the final. I don't know.
I agree. It's like too many people. Like, not all of these people are the best.
It makes it harder to follow, and I feel like it lowers the values of the game because they just spread them too thin, that it's like, okay, now here's another jog to a puzzle. Here's another jog to a bike ride to a puzzle. Here's a swim to a puzzle, where it's just like, okay, it's probably because you have so many damn people, you got to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah.
And like I said like a couple weeks ago, I'm so sick of there being codes and everything. So finally, there's not a code in this challenge tonight, right? But the name of the challenge is Code Crossing. I'm like, enough with the codes. I don't want anything to do with codes. Not even the damn name. Like, why can't we just?
They did a contract with Code.
With the word code,
and they have to mention code every.
Code Red Mountain Dew, circa 2000. Where's my Code Red Mountain Dew? If anyone hasn't had that, that was a drink of champions back in the day.
Nice.
So yeah. So who do you think are going to be the final 3 guys and final 3 girls? I'll say mine real quick.
Okay.
I go Tyson, Ben, and Danny for the guys. What do you think for guys?
Same.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Girls, I know I want Angela, Desi, and Alyssa.
Yeah.
But some would say Justine. Some would say we're missing out on Justine
because Justine tries. She's got heart. I like her. She's not. Desi's the. I think Angela, then Desi, then Alyssa in ranking. Like Desi's.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you didn't have Alyssa in your top 3, though. I'm surprised you didn't throw Justine in there and just cut out Alyssa
I don't
altogether.
like Alyssa. Doesn't mean I don't know. I don't know what I think. Angela and Desi are good, and everybody else is whatever. So yeah. I'll put Alyssa there just because they're a lot. You know what I mean? Just because they're in an alliance, she'll make it.
All right, Jenna. Before we go, what are your top 3 girls?
would just for the girls, I would sub out Alyssa and I would put in Justine.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
See, that's what I do. I do think I can see people wanting that for sure. See, I've been ride or die with Alyssa too long now, Pam. What's that, Pam?
They feel like stupid Sarah might be better than Justine.
Yeah, maybe.
I like Justine. I really like Justine. Don't get me wrong. Like, if it was who I like best, she'd be in the top 3. And I think she does try, and I think she's got something. But the level with the girls, there's just a big drop off where a bunch of the guys left are like pretty good. Whereas with the girl, it's like Angela, then Desi, I think, and then like kind of everybody else. So it's
I just think Desi hasn't.
Competition is.
I feel like Desi hasn't had a great opportunity to show us what she can do. I don't know why I don't think that, but I just feel like she has so much more to give, and I really want to see her in a final and to see how her endurance is and just see how her brain works, to see if she can solve some of these puzzles. I don't know. But someone also said on I don't know, on Twitter or not Twitter, I don't do Twitter, probably on Instagram, is Angela a vegan? Who's a vegan on this show? Someone's a vegan, and they said that's going to bite her in the ass in the final. Someone said that.
Oh, but most people that are even like that will eat shit at the, like, I don't think Angela's.
No. I get that, but like not being used to putting food down that's meat, then having it be disgusting.
I mean, they're going to have a food challenge in this one for sure. You think?
They always do it in the final. Come on. I mean, until they don't do it, then I'll believe it. But I always believe it because they always have one.
I don't know who the vegan was. I'm gonna go with Kayla. Maybe.
No,
Kayla.
Jenna said it was Angela.
Oh,
Angela's a vegan. Yeah, she has a plant-based cookbook.
Oh, Jenna.
Now I'm gonna buy it and become a vegan like Angela. Like, she's an influencer I can get behind. She is doing something right. I mean, she's sharp and in good shape.
I'm definitely happy she won this week because there were people saying that she's overrated and all this stuff. I'm like, no, she's not. Come on. I don't know what people are on that side of the boat about her too. Or she hasn't really done that much this season. She just got in a great alliance. Well, yeah, that's part of the game too. In our 5 assets, one of our assets is social game. Damn it,
social game. Yeah. No, Angela is great. She deserves it. That last week was so funny with her just being like, let's fuck Sarah. Like,
oh, that was such a
I also like her. I also like her. She's like her rude, not mean and rude, but her dry, sarcastic humor tickles me too. Team Angela. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're still listening right now, hashtag Jenna's back. There you go. There's your hashtag for the week.
Woo! Woo!
Trying to be.
We'll give some shout outs out next week if we get some hashtag Jenna's back.
Jenna, yeah, Jenna's back 75%. She got one eye on the work emails.
I know. I'm sorry.
She's mostly
Jenna
back.
is.
Okay.
And
see, I work nights, so I don't have this issue. But if I had a day job, I'd be screwed trying to do this with us. So thank you, Jenna, for joining us.
Thanks for making it work. JB, love you, girl.
Love you guys.
Yeah, love you guys.
All right, so we'll see y'all next week for episode 11, which we think is the last episode of the season before the finale. And then we'll see you tomorrow on Patreon for our Big Brother recap of 3 episodes.
Yes.
Tune in for that. And it's on patreon.com/The Challenge After Show. But just click the link in the comment section here. I'll put it up there. So
you don't want to miss that.
Don't miss that. All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.